when you pick the people that you spend your most time with is one of the most important things that you can do. You want to be around people who strive to be their best and not just one thing, but everything that they're doing. They have hopes and dreams and a purpose in life.
Welcome to Writing Your Own Story, a podcast where people share their unique story and how they came to where they are. Today I had the pleasure of interviewing Clair DeGeorge, a professional hockey player in the PWHL. Clair started her hockey career when she was 5, and growing up in Anchorage, Alaska, there weren't opportunities for girls in hockey. Clair played on boys' teams until age 14, when she moved to Shattuck St. Mary's, a hockey boarding school in Minnesota. During her time at Shattuck, Clair was recruited to play college hockey. She committed to Bemidji State, where she played hockey for 4 years and got a nursing degree. While at Bemidji State, our world was going through COVID-19, and college athletes were eligible for a 5th year. Clair decided to take advantage of eligibility and get her master's degree at the same time. Her final year in college, her 5th year, was spent at Ohio State, where she won an NCAA championship, followed by a successful first year in the PWHL, winning the first ever Walter Cup with the Minnesota Frost. Since, Clair has started her own girls hockey camp in Alaska to give them opportunities she didn't have growing up, and has played for the Montreal Victoire, Toronto Scepters, and now the New York Sirens in the PWHL. Clair continues to have a successful career in nursing while balancing being a professional hockey player. We were so excited to be able to talk to Clair today. Thank you for joining us. Did you always know that you wanted to play professional hockey in some way or play beyond high school?
I would say I definitely knew I wanted to play beyond high school because the college route was sort of the end all be all for women's hockey at the time growing up. So playing professional, it's hard to say because when I was super young, I wanted to play professional with the boys, with the men, because I didn't know any better. And then as you get older, you realize like, oh, you can't play with the men, but there is no professional hockey. So I really focused on my studies and becoming a nurse so that I'd have that when I got out of college. But really, the NCAA championship was the highest thing that you can get, what everyone really wanted. And then I was very fortunate that the professional league came so quickly for me out of college that I was able to play professional hockey too.
With hockey technically being your job, how do you find a life outside of your sport and kind of keep your love for the game and keep your life outside the sport knowing that it's not going to be a forever thing?
Yeah, I would say I'm kind of still, at least in season, working on that. It's hard because you're moving around so much. You're not really in the same spot all the time. You're transitioning from a different team to another team, and with expansion happening, it's probably going to happen again. I'd say I do a decent job in the summer of kind of like making sure I get out and go do other things and not just have hockey be all the focus. But I really do try to focus on, you know, maintaining my friendships and my relationships outside of hockey. Um, Obviously, family comes first, so doing that, in season they'll be the ones I focus on the most to go see and visit, and that's in itself is takes a lot of time, that your free time that you actually have outside of hockey in season.
What are some of the other things that you're able to just focus on there? Like smaller things, but can be something that can just kind of take your mind off of hockey and just something to put your mind on for a couple of hours
hmm
that will take time, but also you have like a reward in seeing something physical in the end.
hmm I like to read, so I'll do that. I guess that's not necessarily like rewarding at the end all the time, maybe when you finish a book, but I love to do puzzles. Again, something I haven't really been able to do recently, but
Yeah.
puzzles definitely, if I'm really in my head, I can sit down and do a puzzle. I won't think about anything but the puzzle. I do my own camp in the summer in Anchorage, so I'll work on that. Or recently I've been making like a travel guide for Alaska just for fun. Like technically I can sell it, but it's mainly just for fun. I can put all the places on there and it's fun for me to see and kind of work on. So
You travel a lot. playing in the league. How have you kind of found something that's able to be grounding, even if it's not a physical thing when you're moving around a lot?
It's a good question. I would say, I think in the back of my mind, I just know that everything happens for a reason, even if you're not necessarily being brought there for hockey specifically, or I don't know, yeah, hockey specifically. Maybe you're there to go, you're going to change someone's life there by doing something. Who knows? But yeah, I do firmly believe that everything happens for a reason. So just sticking to that in my mind makes the transition a lot easier, even when it's sad, like leaving your team that you were just on. But yeah, that's kind of what I lean on.
You graduated with a degree in nursing, as we talked about. How have you been able to kind of balance having that and having it serve almost as like a passion project while you're still playing? And and what was the importance in having like a degree in something that you like are passionate about and love so much?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I love that you said that the nursing part was a passion project because I feel like most people would be like, the hockey is the passion project. I'm like, no, it's technically not the passion project. Like, this is our jobs. And it's
Yeah.
like, we're still trying to convince even my teammates in Toronto were like, no, this is your job. You work for a living because they'll just be like, we're just having fun. I'm like, no, you work. This is your job.
Yeah.
And so trying to just like wrap your head around that because I mean it is cool to be like you get to say that you're a professional athlete, and women have never really been confident enough to say that. So
Yeah.
they should say it. But having the nursing on the side, I would say like the job is hard when I do work. It is hard, but I do love the fact that I have that skill. I worked hard for it, so I like to be able to use it. It's the thing that's like I'm very passionate about in that sense is I'm very empathetic, and it makes me really sad to see people who are hurting or just sick in that sense. And so not only does it make me really grateful for the life that I do get to live, but it really makes me want to help them so much. It just pulls at my heartstrings. So that part of it is really nice, even when the patients aren't being nice. But yeah,
Kind of get a little bit of that trash talking in both hockey and in nursing.
yes, yeah, that's the similarities I guess we can draw from the two.
Has there been a time when hockey was really hard and you kind of wanted to like escape it or weren't really sure like where to go? Um, and if so, how were you able to stay disciplined and motivated, but also were you able to like find other people to lean on to have an outlet to be able to keep pushing?
Yeah, I definitely have had many of those, honestly, especially when it gets to pro hockey. I mean, it's not easy. Um, it's definitely like it's a fun job to have, and definitely extremely grateful for it, but it was never made to be easy. So
Yeah.
in those moments, I've leaned on my friends and I've just asked for help. I mean, if you ever are stuck in those moments and you don't know what to do, you just gotta ask for help. Ask to like talk to someone, even if it's not your coach, but even like a sports psych. They can be really, really helpful in terms of helping you change your perspective on the situation and maybe see what you could gain from it. So for me, that's kind of just led to a lot of resilience and just kind of learning to just focus that you always have growth, and you're kind of just you're learning the game still. Um, Even the pros are still learning the game every day. Like that's just kind of how it is. So yeah.
I'm titling the podcast Writing Your Own Story and kind of breaking the stereotypical path that people have made. How have you been able to kind of write a unique story for yourself?
Ooh, good question. I think honestly, I think my unique story starts with the lucky factor of just being born in Alaska. Most people think that that's pretty cool in itself. But I think a lot of people maybe just think Alaska's extremely remote and they're like, but how did you make it here? I'm like, it's still pretty well populated, but at
Yeah.
least the area that I live in. But overall, I think I probably just got really lucky with the timing of everything, um, which obviously I'm extremely grateful for. But COVID happened. I just happened to be able to work as a nurse for a year before the league started. So I'm able to do my travel nursing on the side. And the pro hockey just started right when I was done with college. I was just lucky in a sense of the timing of everything. And that's kind of what makes it all really unique.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to tell us about yourself or your career or your story of how you got to where you are today?
I guess the only thing that I think has really helped me, or things I think about a lot, is the passion and drive of those that I've surrounded myself with. I think when you pick the people that you spend your most time with is one of the most important things that you can do. You want to be around people who strive to be their best and not just one thing, but everything that they're doing. They have hopes and dreams and purpose and a purpose in life. Just because if they're always striving to be better and you're surrounded by those people, I believe the statistics is like you're 15% more likely to be working your hardest too. And then it's same for the opposite. Like if you're around negative people or people who just aren't working hard, it brings you down like 20%, something even bigger than, like, the percentage is much higher than those who bring you up. So that just goes from like my sisters, both very hard workers, who are doing great in life, and they've kind of pushed me, seeing how hard they work towards their goals and aspirations. And believe me, we're all three of us are very different in terms of our passions, and what we do, but they work very hard towards what they want. So it's kind of like, oh, if they're working hard, I'm going to work hard too. And so I've taken after those attributes of them, and that's what I look for in my friends and the people that I hang around.